I know you, good day.
So that nice gentleman sort of stole my question a little bit. Where I'm over
Are
here
you going
being...
to have him arrested?
I may. We may hang out and be confused and flummoxed, as he said, together. But that's...
I'm sure there's enough flummox to go around.
I'm sure there is. So when I thought a lot about what I was going to ask you, that was the overwhelming feeling that I had, is I never feel like I can trust the things that I'm thinking about.
All right. One moment. Don't go any further. So what are you using your trust for?
I think just getting through the day, man. Like, just making stuff happen.
All right.
Yeah.
Remember, you're always trusting something.
Yeah.
It's not about not trusting. You're always trusting something. So the question is, what are you trusting? And why?
Yeah.
Why are you putting your trust in something you don't prefer as opposed to something you do? What makes putting your trust in something you don't prefer seem more realistic than putting it in something you do prefer? Why do you have that difference in definition?
Yeah, I think when there's something tangible to it, I can see the results. I think
so are you saying you only see results in negative things you don't prefer? You never see results in something you do prefer, or do you?
I think I have more emotion tied to the things that come up that are things I don't prefer.
More emotion?
Mm-hmm.
Because?
I don't know, I think it's always easier to probably dwell on the negative rather
Is
than...
it? Is it easier to be someone you're not?
In like a self-loathing kind of way, maybe.
Oh,
yeah,
all right. Why do you loathe yourself?
I don't know.
Why do you deserve to loathe
deep.
yourself? Did you say it's safer?
No, I said it's getting deep. It's getting a little uncomfortable for me.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it means you're reaching down to where you need to find the answers. That's okay. Unless you want to stop this, it's up to you.
No, I think it's good.
All right. Then we can continue.
Okay.
So, what do you loathe about yourself? I mean, if you're going to loathe yourself, go for it. Don't do anything halfway.
I don't think I do.
I really suck.
Yeah.
Now, whoa.
Okay.
Do you really suck? Or is it something less than that?
I think it's something less than that.
Oh, all right. So we're making progress.
Yeah.
You don't completely loathe yourself. You just loathe yourself a little bit here and there, now and then. In certain ways at certain times. Yes?
Yes. Yeah.
About what specifically? Can you name one example where you loathe yourself in a situation in life?
I think just there's more of a general feeling that I get that...
But in what circumstances? What triggers it? When you experience what? When you see what? What triggers it? Where do you find yourself coming up short?
I think in my relationships with others, I feel generally that like very alone, like no one cares about me.
All right. Do you care enough about yourself to not care whether they care about you?
I'm working on that.
All right. How long have you been working on that?
I would say always, my whole life.
Your entire life. Well, your entire life isn't over yet. So you haven't been working on it for your entire life.
Yeah.
You've been working on it for your life up to now.
Yes.
All right. So don't exaggerate.
Okay.
You haven't lived your entire life yet.
Let's hope not, yeah.
Would you prefer to live the rest of your life without that feeling?
Yes.
How do you know you would prefer to live the rest of your life without that feeling if you don't know what it would feel like to live without that feeling? Ooh. Ooh, tricky. Listen carefully, How do you know you would prefer to live the rest of your life without that feeling if you don't know what it feels like to live without that feeling? Because you can't perceive what you're not the vibration of. So what part of you suddenly goes, oh, I think it would be nice to live without that feeling of feeling this if I didn't actually have an experience of having that feeling?
I'm not
So
sure if
you
I
must
got it.
have some idea what it would feel like to live without feeling loathsome, yes?
Yes, I see that, what you're saying, yeah.
All right. So as you're imagining what that might feel like, aren't you in that state of not being loathsome?
Yes,
So how does that feel?
good.
All right. Would you like to continue to generate that feeling?
Yes, absolutely.
What stops you from doing so? What reasons are you creating to not generate a feeling you are obviously capable of generating because you just did it?
Yeah.
So what reasons are you creating to not have that feeling in the way that you would prefer to?
I think there's a part of me that's looking for outside validation from others.
Can I tell you a secret?
Please?
There is no outside for you. Everything you're experiencing in your universe is you. So you're only looking for validation from yourself. Yes, there are other beings, as we said before, but you're only experiencing your version of them. So they are aspects and reflections of you, even though they are also somewhat symbolically representative of other real beings. They're still reflecting to you what it is you need to understand about what you need to give to yourself. So you have to give it to yourself, and there is no reason not to except for the reasons you create, thus creating reflections of other people to not give it to you, because you're not giving it to yourself. Remember, they're just reflecting to you what you're giving off. I don't deserve to be cared about. I don't care about myself, so I'm going to create a bunch of reflections and symbols of other people that don't care about me either. All you have to do is realize you're the one creating that for some particular reason. So what's the reason? And then you will realize the reason is nonsensical. You don't have to create that reason. And the paradox is, you have to care for yourself and know that you're worth it and deserve it, regardless of what's going on in the reflections. Let's put it in the simple analogy, as we always do, of a mirror. Listen to this phrase. Now, I'm just going to use the term God. I'm just going to use that term to make this phrase simple. It's God, goddess, it's all that is, it's source, it's whatever you want to call it. But here's the reality. God is a mirror. Let that sink in. God is a mirror. It can only show you what you're giving off. That's all it can do. God is a mirror. If you're frowning, you can only see a frown on the reflection in the mirror. That's all that can come back to you. It cannot smile before you do. But the mirror doesn't have a choice of its own. It doesn't care what you look like on your face. It will dutifully reflect whatever you give off, whatever expression you have. So if you're seeing a frown in the reflection in the mirror and you would prefer to smile, the reflection isn't stopping you from smiling. You have to decide to smile. Then the mirror has no choice but to smile back, because it doesn't have a contradictory opinion. It's just a mirror. It doesn't say, oh, you shouldn't smile now. Don't smile at me. It says, oh, you're smiling. Here you go. God is a mirror. That's it. That's the ultimate guiding principle, because it's giving you literally what you're giving off to guide you. Because if you don't prefer the reflection, change it. There is nothing to stop you from changing it. The control is in your hands. Totally, utterly in your hands. You're in charge. So why not feel deserving? The reflection doesn't care. Being a being that is deserving can be just as real because it's all within the reflection. Is this making some sense?
It definitely is.
Is it helping?
It is. Would you say that taking an approach of like fake it till you make it is something that's fitting?
You can use the general idea, the general concept behind that principle, but it's not really about faking it. It's about knowing that while you're faking it, what you're actually doing is practicing what can actually become true for you. So it can't just be that you're faking it. It has to be that you are mocking it up until you understand that there's no reason to pretend that it is actually your reality. But you have to realize that internally before you will experience it externally. Does that make sense?
It does.
So when you're looking in a mirror, how do you fake a smile?
It's not a very good one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The mirror is going to do this too. Is that what you prefer?
No.
Probably not.
No.
So finally you will say, well, yeah, it's not really about this, it's just about this. Because that feels good. That's who I prefer to be. And the mirror goes, okay. So yeah, sure, you can go and fake it, but that's what you will see in the mirror. Yes?
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I ask you another question?
I don't know, that was a question.
May I? May I ask? Okay. Sometimes when you're waiting, you crack
Sometimes
your
when
teeth.
you're what?
When you're waiting.
Why are you waiting?
No, when you are.
When I'm waiting, I'm never waiting.
I'm just wondering why you do that.
Why I do what?
All right, never mind. Thank you.
Why I do what? It's the channel's body translating the fact that I'm having a conversation with someone else.
So when my father was dying, he started doing that a lot. And
He might have been having a conversation with beings on the other side he was about to meet.
yeah, he said some things that made me think that, and
Yes.
I saw you do it, and I was like,
It could
Whoa.
also mean that Dad is saying hello.
I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome.